Just waiting for YouTube to go live. Any day now. Hello, everybody. It's Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Thank you for joining us here on YouTube. Be sure to check out RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com for plenty more Royal Caribbean news, information, fun, advice. It's all waiting for you at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Thank you for joining us here on this Monday. Every Monday, we are live hanging out with you, talking the most important thing in the whole wide world, not politics, cruises, ladies and gentlemen. And so we're here to answer your cruise questions. And we're going to start off today with the most important question. How many days until your next Royal Caribbean cruise? Type your countdown in chat. Let us count down together. I'll be on Serenade to the Seas, I believe December 1st. So looking forward to getting on a Radiance class ship again. We had some amazing super chats before the broadcast began. Andrew of the Seas, thank you for the super chat. 7 Royal Caribbean blog live chats until New Year's on Freedom. Random question time. What and when was your first cruise? Disney Wonder in the late 90s. Was with Royal Caribbean? No, as I mentioned, Disney. And what other lines have you sailed with? Disney, Norwegian, Celebrity, in that order. And what keeps you loyal to Royal? I just think they have the best product out there. I think they have a good balance of value to product. So, yeah. Thank you, Andrew, for the super chat. Jacinta Green, thank you for the super chat. 26 days to Oasis in Aruba. What nightlife places for adults would you recommend? Oof. Great question. I don't have a good recommendation. When I've been to Aruba and we've had late night or even overnight stays, the most we've done is we will book a resort for a day pass to a resort, hang out there, swim until the evening, have dinner, and then after dinner, usually we're like, all right, we spent the whole day swimming. We're gonna head back to the cruise ship. There are casinos, movie theaters, some shopping, but I mean, I don't have anything I can recommend. I don't think I really say that's a good idea because that's about the extent of my time there. Usually we spend the whole day in Aruba. We have dinner somewhere and then it's back to the ship. Bob Dickens, Bob, always a pleasure to have you here. Thank you for the super chat. Do you think for the Black Friday deals, if there really are deals, try that again. Hey, Matt, do you think for the Black Friday deals, if they really are deals, what I save additional money on excursions on my next cruise? Hope you're doing well. Thank you, Bob, for the super chat. Hope you're doing well as well. When it comes to the Black Friday sales, guys, it's relative, Bob. So it's not cruise pricing for shore excursions, Wi-Fi, cruise fares. It's not like, Walmart where they're like, okay, all our TVs are 30% off across the board. It's very much an algorithm at play. And some sailings, some excursions, some Wi-Fi get the discount. Some get a little discount. Some get a big discount. Some get no discount. So it's impossible to know ahead of time what to expect. And this is why we've talked about this time and time and time again. Never wait for a sale. I'm not saying you're doing this, Bob. I'm just saying this for everybody else. Never wait for a sale. Never try to time a sale. If you want a shore excursion, my recommendation is you book it as soon as you know you want the excursion. And then if there's a sale on Black Friday or July 4th or any sale, you can always take advantage of repricing it, right? That's my recommendation. But the short answer to your question is no. We have no idea to know in advance what kind of discounts, if any, to expect for your particular sailing and shore excursion you're looking at. Jill1228, thank you for the super chat. We're still answering questions, by the way, from before the broadcast began. Hi, Matt. I'm at work on the down low 82 days to Icon. We just got off Liberty this season on Friday. We watched your videos and booked Hideaway Beach. It was lit. We booked it again for Icon. Thanks for everything. Nice. And for those of you who are above the age of 45, when Jill says it was lit, that means it was really good. Edvira rejoined the Royal Caribbean Blog Club for 14 months. Ed, you are a legend. Thank you, Ed. Edvira, when do you think Royal Caribbean will post Asia cruises for fall 2026? Interested in doing LA to Tokyo, Trans-Pacific, and Tokyo to Singapore back-to-back for my wife's 60th birthday. We know that for a fact they're going to do China. Well, actually, we don't. TBD is the date. So it will not be before the week of March 31st. Probably, I'm going to guess in April or May. Probably closer to May if I had to guess, Ed. But it's TBD at this point. We simply don't know. I wish I had a better answer. Chris Stell, thank you for the super chat. Only 10 more live chats till a back-to-back on Indy. Thanks to Matt and Jen Green from MEI Travel for all you do to make all of our cruises absolutely amazing. Thank you, Chris. Always a pleasure. Thank you, my friend. Cowboy, let me get the name right. Cowboy Valley and Timberline Junction Model Railroad. Thank you for the super chat. 61 days till Jewel, 221 till the Indy Group Cruise. And a big shout out to Megan Hayes from MEI Travel for all our hard work on our flights to London. Dude, Megan Hayes is amazing. Thank you for the super chat. And I got to say, MEI Travel, with Megan Hayes works for, saved me so much money on my flights to Europe for next year. So I share your adulation in that regard. I think we're caught up with the chat here. Rose, thank you for the super chat. Looks like Liberty of the Seas is getting refresh in 2026. Do you think that will include rooms, special restaurants, or other? It's entirely possible. Remember, Liberty, Allure, and Adventure of the Seas were all supposed to get major updates during the amplification program in 2020 and 2021. Now, Royal Caribbean has not said anything yet, Rose, but Allure of the Seas obviously is getting those updates. So I would be pretty surprised if Liberty didn't get those upgrades as well. Now, Royal hasn't said anything, Rose, so officially we don't know the answer to your question. But given that Liberty and Adventure and Allure were all supposed to get amplified, but didn't because of the pandemic, I think they probably will now. I don't know that for a fact, just my opinion, but yeah, there you go. Let's see here. We have a lot more super chats to catch up with. Tukes Vegas. Tukes, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Matt, I'm doing a back-to-back with an end and start in Rome. Can I do an excursion? Thoughts and options for all you do? Yeah. I would say if you're going to do one, I would look at if there's an excursion in the cruise planner. Like in any port, Tukes, there's usually like debarkation day excursions. The problem with Rome, and as I say this, I forgot, Rome is about an hour from the actual cruise port of Civitavecchia. I can't remember pronounce that port name. So it's not around the corner. But obviously, if you get off the ship early, maybe there's a shore excursion. I would look at that. If you're doing it on your own, you really need to manage your time. To me, an hour away is it's by train. That's a spicy meatball. That I'm not so sure I would do that on my own. Because again, you have to be back on board a lot earlier than you do on a regular port day more often. So yeah. Jen Green from MEI Travel is here. Jen, always a pleasure to see you. The Teresa McShane from MEI Travel is also here. Teresa, welcome back from Icon, and to Mark McShane. Cheers, my friend. Hope you had a great time, Teresa, on the Icon of the Seas. Our Wolf's in the house. Mike, thanks for sending over that cruise compass earlier. Appreciate that. Good to see you here. I see Zach Brady is here. Carolyn is here. Katrina is here. Mark Castell is here. Ruth Ann from MEI Travel checking in. Good to see you, Ruth Ann. Always a pleasure. Let's see. Next super chat is from Freeman Fundamentals. Thank you for the super chat. Got married 2 weeks ago. Mazel tov. Congratulations. 4 days until our 10-night honeymoon cruise on Jewel. This is my 6th cruise and her first. The videos you and Lifewell Cruise put out have helped immensely. I got to tell you, first of all, congratulations. Second of all, you're very welcome. Third of all, Ilana, who does the Lifewell Cruise videos, does an amazing job. I got to meet Ilana for the first time, finally, earlier this year, and she's a lovely person. Met her whole family, met her son, met her husband. They're great people. And I'm so glad that between my ramblings and Ilana's well put together thoughts, you are set for your honeymoon cruise. Enjoy it, savor it, and most importantly, when you're on your honeymoon cruise and you're looking deep into your wife now, not fiance, your wife's eyes, and you hold her hands, and you have a overwhelming need, a feeling, more than a feeling, as Boston would say, and you say, honey, I just can't control myself. I'm looking in your eyes. I can't help but say, we need to book another cruise. So go to Next Cruise and book another cruise before you get off that ship. Thank you for the super chat. Next, we got Becky Mankin from MEI Travel in the house. Finally, Becky is not on a Disney cruise ship with terrible internet. Becky, welcome back. Good to have you here. Let's see. Next question. YOLO book it. Exactly, Mike. Always YOLO book it. Absolutely. Wisconsin Jason, thank you for the super chat. 69 Days of Symphony. Hope you are doing well. I'm doing very well, thank you. Glad to be here. Glad to have everybody here. Guys, this is the highlight of my week. I love talking Royal Caribbean with all of you, so thank you for being here. We are hanging out together. We're answering cruise questions, so please do not be shy. Type your questions in chat. You don't need to ask permission to post. Just post your questions. Feel free to jump in and answer other people's questions. Say hi to Becky Mencken. Say hi to Warren, who's in the chat. Amanda from MEI Travel is here. Warren Caesar is here. We got lots of good friends in the chat. Chris Moss, thank you for the super chat, Chris. 46 days till freedom. I tip my servers and steward. Ideas for Christmas gift for them on the Christmas cruise. Just want to give them something to open. That's fair. I mean, listen, I always tell people ask me, should I get a special gift? I always tell them, listen, money. Nobody ever complains about getting money. I don't know. What do you guys think? Chat, help us out here. What would be like, nothing crazy, but wouldn't bring a bike on board, but something that Chris could give their room steward. I mean, chocolates are usually a good one. It's easy to pack. Most people like chocolates. It's also really easy to re-gift them if they don't like them. It doesn't cost a lot. It's a nice token gesture. That could be something like, like one of those, like, not maybe a heart-shaped box, but something along those lines. Not a candy bar, but like, like a gift box of that. Make sure it's sealed and packaged and all that. Like, don't bring your homemade fudge brownies. Those will not be allowed on the ship. But it's got to be something like universal. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to bring something like gender specific or like a t-shirt, because obviously depending on what size they wear, you'll never know in advance. That's the only thing. That's my best idea that I've got. Maybe someone in the chat can figure that out. A better idea. Adventura. I'm wondering how cheap they go in Canadian price. I keep checking back, but nothing cheaper. $35 now for Wi-Fi, $44 for the refreshment package. So the thing with the cruise add-ons is, the answer to your question is, we will never know. No one will ever know. It's there's not, it is not fleet-wide pricing. And moreover, Adventura, if Teresa McChain from MEI Travel is on a different cruise than you, and she sees it for a different price, that literally has no relevance or bearing on the price that you will see. It's not like the lowest possible price out there will ever come to your particular sailing. Every sailing on every ship is treated differently in terms of these prices. So it's why you really, if you want these two things, the Wi-Fi and the refreshment, book it, lock in the price. If tomorrow, next week, next month, anytime before your cruise, you see a better price, you can cancel and rebook with no penalty, by the way, for these items. But of course, if you wait and don't book it, the price could go up. You'll end up paying more. Moreover, and most importantly, it will always be more expensive on board the ship. Scott Lockwood in the house. What's up, Scott? Thank you for the super chat, my friend. I do not see a message from you, Scott, but thank you for your generosity. I'm sure Teresa will yell at me that I missed the message there. Kino Fit Chef, first cruise next week on Wonder. Dude, that's a great, is your first cruise ever? What a great ship for your first cruise ever. Love that. Jose, 7 days to Utopia. Love all your content as always. Thank you, my friend. John, my wife and I are wondering, what is your Crown and Anchor status? Love listening to you. Thank you. I am Pinnacle Club. I turned Pinnacle last year, 2023. Thank you. Big Boy Trains, thank you for the super chat. Just got off Harmony Royal Loft Suite. Dude, nice. 140 days until a 10-day Ovation of the Seas, New Zealand Star Class. And the 307 till Star of the Seas Sunset Suite. First of all, before I read the rest of your message, Becky Mencken in the chat is about to be your best friend, Big Boy Trains. You are speaking her language right there. Star Class, Star Class, Star Class. That is Becky's dream right there. Your videos last 3 years helped me get whole family on the seas. Thank you, Matt. Awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. That's fantastic. And yeah, that Star Class experience is nice. I gotta say, it really was. As you all saw last week, I was on Utopia of the Seas. We stayed in the Ultimate Family Suite, and yeah, it was stupid expensive, but it was a great experience. I mean, it was fun. Obviously, you can have fun anywhere, but the memories. I mean, yeah, I paid $12,000, which is insane, but we're going to have memories from that for quite a while. And to some extent, I mean, I don't want to say, can you put a price on memories? Of course you can, but you know what I mean? It certainly was the name of research, but it was also quite an experience for my family and friends who were able to join us on board. Next question is from Jay Osteen. Jay, it is always a pleasure to have you here. Welcome. Matt, every other line has posted cruises up through 2026 and into 2027. Really want to transatlantic in 26. So why is Royal rolling them out so slowly? I don't think Royal Caribbean, I don't want to speak for them, Jay. I really don't think they care about what other lines do in terms of, like, it's not I don't think they pay any that close attention. Like, I make, Carnival put out theirs or this put out theirs. I don't think they really, I don't think they really care. Obviously, and I think you already know this, Jay, we're starting to get the 26, 27 cruises out. You probably saw that Alaska and Europe have been released, and we're going to get some more cruises here in November, and then the rest in early 2025. It's just basically, I mean, I really believe that Royal basically puts them out, the new sailings out there when they're ready to put them out there, because there's a lot of moving parts. It's not like they necessarily have every sailing set, written in stone, ready to go. They're just biding their time. I really believe that things are being changed, altered, tweaked. And the reason I say that is because the deployment schedule they put out there gets changed all the time. So we'll get more in November, and then we're going to get the rest in early 2025. What do you think of the updated Royal Caribbean logo? I think it's nice. I mean, it's not that much of a departure from the old one, obviously. It's, you know, it's more of it's a cleaner looking logo, but it's not like it's not it's more of a transitionary logo, not like a true, in my opinion, when you say new, you say updated, you use the word new. So I think it's fine. But, you know, unless they were to actually like change the logo, like get rid of the crown and anchor or something like that, you know, it's fine. It's just a evolution, if you will. Jason B, thank you for the super chat. Do you think the food in the main dining room will get any better? It has definitely changed. It also seems to be inconsistent across the fleet. Is it just me? I don't think it's the wrong way, Jason. I think I don't want to say it's just you, but I don't share your opinion. I think it's actually gotten more consistent. Before this change that happened last year in the main dining room, it was, first of all, the time to eat was all over the place. And second of all, I felt like the consistency within the menu was also different. This is now, I think, consistency. You can say a lot of things with the main dining room menu. I'm not here to shape anyone's opinion, but I really truly believe consistency has been like one of the major things they've really achieved with this. Now, I don't share the opinion that the main dining room menu has gotten worse. Number one, I like that I don't have the same food for like a decade. Obviously, I cruise a lot. Many people in the chat cruise a lot. Maybe you do as well, Jason. I don't know exactly. But we cruise often enough that, like, after a couple of years, like, I'm ready for a change. I'm ready for something different because I don't want to eat the same old, same old. And granted, there are a lot of carryovers from the old menu. But my point is that I welcomed this change as, like, good. Some new dishes to try. Finally, I love that. And listen, I wouldn't mind if they brought back the French onion soup every night of the cruise, but I can certainly find it. And I appreciate when it's there. And I like that there's always an evolution. Cruising is not stale. It's not stays the same. They're constantly trying to push and improve. And listen, they don't get everything right. I'm not here to tell you that it's all wonderful. I can tell you for a fact that there's an eggplant vegetarian dish that's absolutely inedible in the main dining room menu. It's not the eggplant parm. It's like an eggplant. It's a vegan thing. It always sounds good, and I order it. I'm like, ugh. But there are plenty of other good things on the menu there that to try. So I just look at it as an opportunity to try something else out there. But I disagree with your premise that, I mean, you said it's inconsistent. I think it's actually gotten more consistent, but is it just me? Could be. Mark, thank you for the super chat. When will fall 2026 Africa cruises be announced? Probably never, Mark. Royal Caribbean doesn't cruise to Africa. The exception being they did the World Cruise, and then Voyager of the Seas for next year got rerouted there for a couple sailings, but I really don't expect there to be any. So I would say probably never. I could be wrong. Mark, full disclosure, guys. I'm just sharing it based on historically what they've done, but I don't expect that. Jose, thank you for the super chat. 7 Days to Utopia. Love all your info. Thank you, Jose. Appreciate you. Let's see. Megan Hayes. Hey, Matt. Sorry I'm late tonight. I was busy not listening to Dave Matthews Band. Nice. Don, thank you for the super chat. Going on an inaugural of Star, then Oasis in 26. My son doesn't drink alcohol, but likes NA non-alcoholic beer. What drink package does he need to buy? Unfortunately, he needs to buy the deluxe package. Non-alcoholic beer, even though it is non-alcoholic, is not included in the refreshment package. So unfortunately, you need to get the deluxe package, which kind of stinks. I would tell him to just buy the beer individually, get a refreshment package, and just pay cash for the refreshment beer every time he wants. Unless he can drink 30 of them or something like that. But yeah. Joe Addison. Joe, thank you for the super chat. 21 days till Allure, 39 and 74 to Utopia. Can you explain how ExpressLine works when checking with a passport? Yeah, it's really easy. Basically, Joe, when you get to the cruise terminal, you should see a different line for express line. But really, the difference is, Joe, when you get to in Port Canaveral, basically when you get to the actual check-in, not before security, but like after you go through the X-ray machine, when you actually go to check in for your cruise properly, there's a special line for express folks, and they'll just verify everything. They'll just go through. It's just it's the exact same process as before. It's just like they not assume, they know that you've already done a lot of the steps, so you get a special line just for you, which moves faster. Hope that makes sense. Living my best life. Hi, Matt. How do you not get sick on all of your cruises? I only go on a cruise 1 or 2 times a year. So my family of 3 gets COVID every time. I mean, a lot of it is just stupid luck. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I've gotten sick on cruises. I'm pretty sure I got COVID on Icon earlier this year, but I didn't know I had it because it didn't ever materialize into what I considered to be COVID from my previous experiences with it. And then my wife had it when we got home. She tested positive, and I was like, "Oh, that's what you had? Oh, then I probably had it too." But like, I mean, it can't happen. But I don't get it every cruise. But honestly, I mean, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a microbiologist. I'm not even a retired transportation worker at the MTA in New York City. I just can tell you that in some cases it's stupid luck. Sometimes it's just based on, you can make the argument, maybe I cruise so much that I've built up a tolerance, or I don't know, it depends. I don't know. I have no idea. But like shrugging emoji, living my best life. That's it, unfortunately. Look at the bright side. I mean, if you go, maybe you guys are set for the next cruise. I hate to laugh at it like that, but yeah. Kelly's in the chat. Hi, everyone. Shout out to the Teresa McChain. She does deserve a shout out, right, Tony? Tony Diaz loves Teresa. Good friends. And Whipple Ann, thank you for the super chat. Hi, Matt. We had a great time on our back-to-back on Brilliant's fiasco, being stuck in Professor. I wonder if it's a typo. We had to file a claim. We had to file a claim be used. We got in late from the ship, having the problems. How long does the claim take? I think your question is, if you file a claim with travel insurance, how long does it take to clear? It really depends on the travel insurance company that you used and a little bit of luck, how busy they are and whatnot. I can tell you that, like, as some travel insurance providers like Allianz, they have an app, and you literally scan it in. I was talking to somebody who filed a claim with Allianz not too long ago, and they were like, "Oh, it's really easy," because when they got the bill from, I guess, Royal or whoever, they just scanned it into the Allianz app, and like it was issued, the money was issued pretty quickly thereafter. But obviously, all claims are different. You know, it's quite a difference between if you're claiming like, "Hey, I lost my luggage," okay, versus like my entire vacation was ruined and all this other stuff. So I wish I could give you a better answer than that, but it's a lot like, you know, the claims process with any insurance, whether it's home or auto or travel. Just keep up with them. Keep all your receipts, copies of emails. It will get to you. It's just a process, unfortunately, in some cases. Just, yeah, I wish I could handicap it better than that. Hey, Warren, is the Starbucks kiosk still available to Star Class? Absolutely, yes, 100%. Trust me, my friend. I used that a lot last week on Utopia. I was actually, Warren, you should have seen my face, dude. I got on Utopia, and I'm like, oh, man. Listen, guys, I love pumpkin spice season. So I got on Utopia, and I'm like, I'm in Star Class. I'm gonna drink more pumpkin spice anything from Starbucks than I've ever done before. And I get on the ship, first stop with the genie, Starbucks. I'm sorry, sir, we don't have any pumpkin spice on board. I was like, cancel the cruise. I don't care. I'm going home. I didn't cancel the cruise, but I was a little disappointed by that. Adventure, do you recommend to get the refresher package, or what they give complimentary is enough? Honestly, either or. It's more of a question of how much are you going to drink a day. I think a lot of new cruisers fall prey to the assumption, I have to get a drink package. There's plenty that's included. I mean, really, the question is, if you're going to drink less than, 4 paid drinks a day, every day of your cruise, you're better off paying cash and not getting a drink package. So don't look at it as, obviously you can still purchase drinks individually, but don't assume you need to get a drink package either. So it more depends on your drinking habits and preferences than anything else. Yoink in the house. Should I book a 14-day cruise? I always book 6 to 7. I say, yeah, go for it, man. I mean, it's a longer sailing, obviously, but you get a lot more naps in. It's a different kind of experience, and you cruise a lot, Yoink. So I would say, yeah. Let's see. Someone said for the remember the question earlier about what should the person bring as a gift for their stateroom attendant? That's not a box of money. I mean, a box of money, yeah. Jonathan, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Good to see you on Independence Days in June. What's the best way to get to Southampton from London? Train or something else? So the train is the easiest. I love the train. I've taken the train a bunch of times. Here's the thing, Jonathan. The luggage storage situation on the train was terrible. And I've done it twice now. And on the way back, I took a taxi for different reasons. But let me put it this way, Jonathan. When I go with my family to London next summer for our Independence of the Seas group cruise, more information at royalcaribbeanblog.com/events. We're not going to take the train. Not because the train's bad, but because when I was on the train, everybody just put their luggage in the little boarding area because the overhead racks are so narrow, you can't fit a standard piece of luggage. You can fit a small one, like a little, like carry-on piece of luggage. But it was very inconducive for that. And when I was there this summer, I was like, I don't know how I would do this with my family and all of our luggage. So the train is cheap. It's easy. If you're a light packer. If you've got like a family of 4 and you're traveling with steamer trunks or the equivalent of steamer trunks, my advice is probably to get a car service. Buses are also good. I'd be remiss if I didn't talk. What is it? National Express, I believe, is the name of the bus service there. But that you can Google it, whatever the heck it is. That's not bad. The issue with taking a car or a bus is traffic. Going back is usually pretty easy because if your cruise ship is back on a weekend, in the morning, there's no traffic there, but it's more the it's usually not terrible, just more hit or miss. LCO, good to see you. Thank you for the super chat. Sailing from Tampa the same day another cruise ends at Fort Lauderdale. Do you think the schedule will be too tight to fly? So you have 2 cruise, you get off a ship in whatever day, and it's in Tampa, and you have the same cruise, and I mean that's a tough call because the problem with Tampa to Fort Lauderdale, you listen, Halcyon, I never recommend flying. And the drive is a beast from Fort Lauderdale to Tampa or vice versa because it's not a direct shot. You have to go down 75 and across Alligator Alley. It's not impossible, but that's I don't know. That's 3+ hours, closer to 4. Flying would work if everything goes exactly to schedule, but you get one delay too many, you're out of luck. I wouldn't recommend it. If it were me, this is what I would do. If you're going to stick with this plan, I would get off the ship as early as humanly possible. I would go rent a car and I would drive down. It's not ideal, but then I feel like I'm more in control of my own fate. And if you get off the ship really early, 3-4 hour drive, gosh, you should be in Fort Lauderdale around noon or so at the latest, assuming there's no traffic or accidents or torrential downpours, but you kind of get that. Let me get a drink of water here. Let us see here. Palm Coast Kane, do you have any confirmation of the official upgrades of the Oasis? No, because I don't think there are any Palm Coast. I believe they just did maintenance work. It's not an amplification. She already got her amplification in 2019. So I think it's just maintenance work. I don't think there's anything new, different, exciting that's beyond a paint job here and there. As far as I know, I certainly haven't heard anything about it. Next question is from Rose. Rose, thank you for the super chat. I always tip $100 my cabin attendant and never got a thank you. Am I being cheap? No, you're not being cheap at all. Your cabin attendant did they look down and see what you gave them? A lot of times cabin attendants, I think, are trying to be modest. I've seen many times where I give somebody a tip, especially cabin attendants or genies, and it's like this. They take it, they put it in their pocket. They don't look at it. It's not I think it's kind of, I don't know if it's rude, but they kind of they don't want to be let me see how much you gave me. No, I mean, certainly they should say thank you for any tip you give them cash wise. But no, I wasn't there. I can't obviously translate their body language or whatnot. Some cabin attendants are also, everyone's different personality. Some are shyer, but I mean, you and I know you did the right thing. So that's all that matters at the end of the day. Julian, thank you for becoming a club member. Appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome. Enjoy. We're starting to do Julian, we're going to start doing club lives about once a month. So look for those. Let's see here. Susan's looking for opinions on having laundry done, going on 11-nighter out of Sydney on Novation, booked in Sky Suite in our Diamond. Is it worth it? Been told they only use hot water. It's basically dry cleaning. But I would tell you this, Susan. I don't want to pack for 11 days. I do laundry on my ships a lot. I send it out and do it that way. It's fine. I never think my clothes stink or come back weird. So I would say it's certainly better than the alternative. Wearing stinky clothes, being naked, or packing like an insane amount of clothing, because that is a long time. When am I running for president? I will not accept, nor will I will not seek, nor will I accept your nomination to be president of the United States. Here's my LBJ reference for you. This tall to ride, thank you for the super chat. Planning on our first cruise in January. Hoping to grab a last minute cruise. Our 7-year-old is really excited. Which ship for first, Liberty or Voyager? Liberty. It has a cooler water slide, and it has Saturday Night Fever. Liberty of the Seas. There you go. It's pretty close, though. Don't feel bad if it's Voyager. Scott Lockwood, thank you for the super chat. 69 days, 9 chats till Allure, 360 till Halloween on Adventure, and 488 till Allure Amplified. What are the Halloween parties like on Royal Caribbean? Scott, we just posted an article about this. They're ordinary. I feel like Royal Caribbean has really updated or advanced its Halloween game, if you will. What? I just posted an article the other day about what it's like on Halloween. Oh, that's why, because it's published. On Icon of the Seas, and I posted the link in the chat for you, my friend. Check that out. But it was there are parties, there are decorations, there are costume contests, there's trick or treating. It's a big deal. Pack your costume and get creative with it for sure. Hey, Grace from May I Travel. Hello, Grace. As long as there's spaghetti bolognese, it is all good. Amen. Amen. Teresa says, I missed Scott's message. I always do that. What would we do without Teresa, right, Tony? Scott Lockwood. Well, I just answered the other one. I think. Yep, I got it. Second time around. Sorry about that, Scott. Appreciate you, though. How does the water taste from the taps? Good. I drink it all the time. Very, very good. Gustavo, thank you for the super chat. We're planning Icon for next year. Do you recommend the Western cruise to Costa Maya, Cozumel, and Roatan, or the Eastern cruise to St. Thomas, St. Martin, which is better excursions? It's honestly, Gustavo, thank you for the super chat. It's honestly flip a coin. I think both have beautiful beaches. I think the food is better in the Western because I just like Mexican food better. But honestly, dude, you are not making a mistake by booking either one. There's pros and cons to both regions. Both have great beaches. You are not you're not making a mistake. This is not like I don't know what's a bad option. But anyway, my point is that they're both really good for different reasons. I would say, in my heart of hearts, I think the beaches are a little more picturesque in the Eastern Caribbean by a smidge. But again, I think food and culture-wise, it's better in the Western Caribbean and still have beautiful beaches. But then again, I'm somebody who thinks that there is no such thing as too many tacos. So there you go. Next question is from I'm just catching up because I'm way behind here. Ed, thank you for the super chat. Any recommendations for St. Thomas excursion? And should we book through Royal? We'll have 2 kids, 11 and 16, as well as in-laws. If you've never been, Ed, to St. Thomas at all, go to Magens Bay. Book something that goes to Magens Bay. It's great. If you have been to Magens Bay before, I would recommend St. John. If you're going to St. John, any excursion in St. John, book through Royal Caribbean. It's a lot easier. If you're going to for Magens Bay, you could easily book a Royal tour. You can also just take a taxi. It's really easy to get to Magens Bay. There's like 1,001 taxis going there, and there'll be 1,001 taxis waiting to take you back. So it's not a big deal to get back and forth to Magens Bay. The biggest issue with Magens Bay, especially if you're doing it on your own, is the traffic in St. Thomas can be kind of bad. So give yourself plenty of time. Like I would, if all aboard is 5 o'clock, I'm making up numbers here. I would leave Megan's Bay no later than 3 o'clock just to be safe. But you can also book a Royal Caribbean tour. Let's see here. Ron Ladowski, can you and Becky Menken from MAI Travel plan a group cruise in New Jersey again? It has been too many years since the last one on Anthem of the Seas. Well, Ron, we almost killed you on that cruise. I mean, you literally fell down onto the floor. So I'm not sure that Becky's health insurance coverage plan can cover that type of experience again, but we'll work on it. You never know. Skyfrog, thank you for the super chat. I'm on Allure of the Seas right now. So far, so good. My mistake was driving from Tampa to Miami. Next time, Brightline. It's funny, we were just talking about this with Halcyon, right? Yeah, I mean, granted, you have to go Tampa to Orlando and take the Brightline down, but man, driving, I don't care where you are in Florida to where you're going. Driving stinks in this state. Brightline or bust. I agree with you on that, Skyfrog. Glad you're having a good time. Enjoy the cruise. Ja Rule, right. Thank you for the super chat. What's up, buddy? Hope all is well. Just got off Independence of the Seas and had a beautiful time. Any tips on booking a cruise with Black Friday coming up? Should I wait or pull the trigger now? Let me say this as plainly as I possibly can. Book the cruise now. We don't know what Black Friday will offer in terms. There will be a sale. We know that. The thing is, Ja Rule, will it actually save you money compared to what the fare is today? I don't know. But what I would tell you to do is book the cruise right now. Contact, we've got Amanda, we've got Teresa from MEI Travel, Megan, she's listening to Dave Matthews Band, but she can still book you. Jen Green is here. I mean, they can all book you a cruise. And you book it today, lock in the price, cool. Black Friday rolls around, they're going to be like 17 Black Friday sales, by the way. But when Black Friday sale rolls around, if there's a better price, boom, they're going to rebook you and get you the better price on that. But if it's not a better price, you've got the better price already. That's the truth is that's really the methodology. My joking aside, I mean, truly, that's what I would recommend. Let's see. Our next cruise, Teresa is like the sister that wouldn't share her Halloween candy with me. Love it. Hannah, good to see you again. Thank you for the super chat. 90 Days till Harmony. First time on an Oasis class ship. I feel like a newbie all over again. What big difference should I expect from Voyager and Freedom that I've been on? It's like, what's the saying, Hannah? You're from, everything's bigger in Texas. Everything's bigger on Oasis class ships. The core experience is pretty much the same. I mean, it's interesting because the Voyager to Freedom to Oasis class, that's like a lineage. You can literally see how Royal Caribbean took each of those ships and just expounded it and built upon it. Same is true on Oasis class. There's just way more to do on Oasis class. Same basic idea, but just way more to do. So you probably already done this, Hannah, I am sure, but watch our Harmony of the Seas ship tour video. You'll see that it's a lot more manageable, a lot more familiar than you might think. Kevin, thank you for the super chat. 2026 Europe, Harmony of the Seas to Spain, France, and Italy, Explorer of the Seas to Italy and Greece, or Odyssey to Italy and Spain, in your opinion? I think Odyssey to Italy and Spain. Odyssey to Italy and Spain. No, actually, sorry, take that back. I think Explorer, the best itinerary is Explorer of the Seas because it goes to Greek. Anytime you go to Greek Isles, that's a win. That's arguably one of the best, if not the best itinerary in Europe. But it's going to be cheaper and easier for you to get on Harmony to Barcelona because there's a lot more flights out there. Odyssey is a really interesting option, but Odyssey is going Italy and Spain instead of going like eastbound. So the itinerary is a little, both our Harmony and Odyssey's itinerary, I would say meh. They're really good places to visit. You've never been there before. It's awesome. So go for it. But if you talk to a European cruise snob, European cruise snobs would tell you the Greek Isle cruise. But of course, you're going on an Explorer, which doesn't have all the bells and whistles that Harmony and Odyssey do. So if it were me, I'd pick Odyssey. But it's a tough call. And I know why you asked me this question now. Thank you for the super chat. Joe, I guess the better question is, how do I get express boarding? Pretty easy, Joe. Assuming you're in a port that has it, not all the ports do, but anywhere in Florida has it, except for Tampa. But if you have to use the Royal Caribbean app to do check-in, you need to scan your passport, you need to take a selfie, you need to put in all the information in there, and then you have to answer the health questionnaire 24 hours before your cruise begins, and then you'll get it. But you need to use the app, and you need to scan your passport, not type in manually your information. Let's see here. Next question. Yeah, Robin, thank you. National Express, which is the bus service from Southampton to London, is super easy, clean and quick. I had a great driver. There you go. Good choice. Susanna, thank you for the super chat. 5 days till Harmony. The coffee punch cards can I use between ships? You know what's interesting? For the longest time, my understanding was no. It was for that sailing only. But some cruisers swear to me that you can. My understanding, if I was booking it, was for that cruise only. But I mean, I don't know. It's like one of those many things that Royal Caribbean gray areas of like, can you or will you or how does it work? I've seen it. I've seen information both ways on that one. So I wish I could give you a better answer. But let me put it this way: when I book the coffee card, I expect to use it all on that particular sailing. But that's just me because I'm crazy. Maybe I don't know. Carolyn, thank you for the super chat. 117 days till Odyssey of the Seas from Cape Liberty. First cruise ever. How do you request a specific bed on South Beach at CocoCay? You don't. You got to get there. It's first come, first serve, Carolyn. So when you get to the beach club, I mean, if you roll off that ship, like whenever the gangway opens, you run over there, it's first come, first serve. First person who throws a towel on there, it's yours until further notice. So if you'd like one, if it's really important for you to get one, you really got to I would be the first person off that ship. Whenever the gangway opens, I'd be the first one out there because there was only a couple of them and they go very, very quickly. So yeah. Now that being said, Carolyn, I have gone to the Coco Beach Club many a time. I've never had the day beds there. I've still had a lovely, wonderful time. But if it's important to you, then yeah, just set your alarm early and sleep it off on your day bed when you get there. Keto Fit Chef. If my boarding window is 11, what time would everyone recommend I get to the parking area? Taking any time to park and walk over to checkout wise. You didn't say which port you're in, but I usually 15 to 30 minutes beforehand is fine. Because don't forget, if you're driving a car, what I do is I drop off my family and all my luggage, and then I go by myself with an empty car to go park the car, assuming you're parking in the cruise terminal, not like off-site, and then walk back. So 15, 30 minutes early, totally fine. They won't care. Can you talk about tipping when you're doing consecutive cruises? Michelle, I would probably, it's a great question. Boy, it's been a long time since I've done this. I think in a lot of cases when I've done the last couple of back-to-backs, I've switched cabins. I'm trying to remember the last time I had the same cabin on a back-to-back. I think I always, Michelle, honestly, I just tip at the end of my cruise. So as an example, Michelle, if you're doing a 3 and a 4-nighter back-to-back, right, and you have the same cabin, you have different cabins, tip the cabin attendant at the end of cruise number 1. If the same cabin attendants for both sailings, then I would just tip at the end, and I would tip them as if it was a 7-night cruise. You know what I mean? Like I have a number in my head that's 7 nights for, of course, based on their performance and all the other stuff, and I would do it based on that. So hope that makes sense. Next question is from Eileen's going on Voyager of the Seas. Is there a Broadway type show? There is not on Voyager. Ray and Nancy Cruisers. Ray and Nancy, thank you for the super chat. Just got off Navigator of the Seas. Did Izumi a la carte. Great dinner for 2 and cheaper than fixed price. Thanks for the advice. I mean, it's definitely the way to go. Love that. Thank you, Ray and Nancy, for the super chat. Glad you had a great time on board. Any updates on the group cruise activities for New Year's Eve cruise? Yeah, Becky Mencken. Any updates, Becky? Let me just tell you this. It's all Becky's fault because it's all her to do it. Honestly, we have to, that's a half truth. We were working with Royal Caribbean on getting them out there. Truthfully, with every group cruise, we really aren't able to get the list of events out until like a couple weeks before the cruise because Royal Caribbean, bless their hearts, they are so slow. The groups department, when it comes to planning events, when you ask them for space, it's like the sloth character from Zootopia, where you're telling them a joke and they're like, It's just everything takes forever. So we're working on it. It's a work in progress. But in the meantime, we can blame Becky for taking too long. I almost spit my water out, Megan. Thanks. Yes. Book it now. Yep. Let's see here. Castelli, thank you for the super chat. Icon from Miami in March. It's cheaper to fly into Fort Lauderdale. Should we get a hotel there or in Miami? Great question. I would do this. I would definitely fly to Fort Lauderdale, 100%. And I would look at the prices for hotels. I mean, you could easily stay in Fort Lauderdale and take an Uber the morning of. It's really not, it's going to be the same difference either way. But yeah, you could absolutely do that. I would, but don't like overpay. Like Castelli, don't save money on your flight and then pay like, an insane amount of money for your hotel where you could have got a much cheaper one in Fort Lauderdale or North Miami or somewhere in between. So I would just, but I would definitely do that plan. That's on paper. I love it. It's a great idea. Next question is from also Castelli, a back-to-back super chat. I like it. Thank you. I'm interested in an Alaska cruise with a toddler who's 4 years old. What itinerary ship would be best for first-time cruiser? Do a quantum class ship, Castelli. I'm not sure which year you're looking, 25 or 26, but a quantum class ship out of Seattle, you will not go wrong in that one. It's the reason why I'm telling you this. It's easier and cheaper to fly to Seattle, round trips, so you don't have to worry about flying out of some random place somewhere else. It's also a big ship with a big ship feel, lots on board. You're used to an Oasis class ship, and you're still going to see plenty of Alaska. Don't worry, you're not really missing out on anything by picking that one. It's a great experience. So yeah, that's the way to go about it. Jamie, what's up, man? Good to see you. Matt, talk about group cruises. How far in advance do you announce one? Really, it's more a question of when does Royal Caribbean put them out there, and when do I see one that I like? That's kind of the mantra right there. And also, how annoying is Tony Diaz about asking me about when the next group cruise will be? But little all those things. Mel wants me to plan another West Coast group cruise. I would love to, although I do hate, as you all know, I hate the embarkation process in LA. Yeah, I would listen. I mean, my wife would love it too, because that means she gets to go to Disneyland, which she absolutely loves. But I don't know that's going to happen, Mel, in 26. I'll be honest with you. I don't think that's really on my radar. But I'd love to do another one eventually, because I will say this, Mel. I want to do a group cruise in the West Coast in the winter, because the last one we did was in the summer, and it was beautiful, but my goodness, Cabo San Lucas and Mazatlan in June is a special kind of torture. It was just, yeah. There are a lot of parts of my body sticking to other parts of my body. It wasn't great. Freeman Fundamentals, thank you for the super chat. Part 1. Okay, all right, let me get ready for this. Okay, I'm ready. I feel like a lot of people don't know that you can pre-order gifts such as embarkation day, cabin decorations, spaware, sweets, and drinks for yourself or others, as long as you know their ship name, departure, and date. Yes, that's correct. And to Royal Caribbean's credit, the reason why they may not be aware of this is it's maybe not as well advertised, but yeah, absolutely, you can do that. It used to be on the Royal Caribbean Gifts and Gear website. I'm not sure if they've integrated, how much has been integrated into the cruise planner, but yes, you're absolutely right. That's a fantastic, I think, part 2. Thank you again for the super chat. You did not need to do that. You should consider making an updated video covering the Royal Caribbean gifts page, because the most recent video I found on the matter was a smaller channel from 2 years ago. Yeah, and thank you for the suggestion. The thing is, they've been so like a couple of years ago, more than 2 years ago, the gifts and there are 2 websites that still exist. There's the Royal Caribbean Cruise Planner, where you go to buy your drink packages and shore excursions and Wi-Fi, and the Gifts and Gear website, which is where you would go to purchase door decorations, candy deliveries, alcohol deliveries, things of that nature. Some of those things from Gifts and Gear have been rolled into the cruise planner. And I'm not sure if the eventual plan is to get rid of Gifts and Gear, but there's kind of a slow merging of the two, and it's a little hard to do. But you're absolutely right. That is an not utilized, but under known. It's not a word, but less known feature on Royal Caribbean's website, 100%. Jason B, thank you again for the super chat. Was on Independence Days for Halloween for my wife's birthday. Took your advice and booked Giovanni's over chops. You were right. Filet was melt in your mouth. Listen, it's you're welcome. And I can also tell everybody else, I sort of know what I'm talking about. Sometimes I know what I'm talking about. But there you go. Awesome, dude. That is fantastic. Chad Crabtree, thank you for the super chat. 40 days till Icon. When will I be able to see and print my luggage tags? 30 days beforehand, it'll be available. Not to worry, my friend. You will get them in there. But yeah, right around 30 days, you get them in there. Do I prefer to pay my gratuities ahead of time or just tip on board? Always prepay. One less thing to worry about. One less charge on my CPass account, which I appreciate. Who's Matt? He's not here. I don't know. Next question, please. It's embarrassing. Soon. Hey, Nathan. Visiting St. Thomas and have a royal excursion booked to St. John. My ferry time is 2 hours, really enough time to travel to a beach and taxi back to the water, perhaps Water Island. It's a very short date, Nathan. Listen, I love St. John. I talk about it all the time. Reality is, on any Royal Caribbean tour you're going to take there, you'll probably have about 90 minutes at the beach. It's not a lot. It's very short. But my goodness, it's an amazing 90 minutes. I mean, it's a beautiful beach. Listen, on paper, it sounds like a bad idea. And every time I get there, Nathan, I'm like, this is amazing. I just can't think of anywhere else I'd rather be. Water Island is really nice. And all the beaches in the Virgin Islands are beautiful. But St. John's is just another level. I don't know. I can't explain it. But I wouldn't fault you for doing St. John or I wouldn't fault you for doing Water Island. But I also, I just feel so strongly about how good St. John is that it's kind of worth 90 minutes if I'm being real. Oh, Keto, you never, please. You guys never, I want everybody to understand something about our chat. TV timeout. I am here to answer your cruise questions, ladies and gentlemen. And there is no basic question. There is no stupid question. I mean, some of them are stupid, but no, I'm kidding. I am happy to answer all of your questions. Odds are I have heard your questions like 750 times already, which is good because you know why? You think I'd be annoyed by that. No, then I know the answer. So it makes me look smart. But seriously, like I don't mind answering them. I'm not here to say, okay, guys, we're only going to answer questions I've never heard from before. We're here. Everybody starts out as a new cruiser. Everybody starts out as a Tony Diaz and doesn't know anything. We're here to help those Tony Diaz's of the world. And we're here to make sure that everybody gets their answers. So I'm here to make your cruise better, my friend. I'm here to wherever we can to help answer your questions. Please feel free to ask those questions. Do never feel like you shouldn't ask a question or you feel bad about it or have to apologize. Like, gosh, no, like we're here to help everybody have a better cruise experience. So please don't feel bad for doing so. And the chat, as you can see, is very helpful also in helping that out. Rose, thank you for the super chat. Book Spain solar eclipse. Wow, for 2026. Thoughts on a group cruise? It's a great idea. I don't want to do Europe again because we're doing a European group cruise in 2025. So I probably don't want to go right back to that quite so quickly. But that is a really good idea. I think we're going to end up being in North America for our group cruises in 26. But there's so many great choices. I mean, that's the thing, Rose. It's like we've only had 2 new releases so far, Alaska and Europe, and both of them were like, could this be it? Maybe. But yeah, it's a great idea. Let's see here. See? This is every day. Every day. I can tell you for a fact there will not be an Australia group cruise ever. Probably ever, but probably. Rahima, when does booking close for a cruise? It's not a week before. I believe it's 72 hours is the number before the cruise. 48 or 72 hours, something like that. You can't, the manifest closes. You can thank 9/11 for that because before 9/11, you could book a cruise like the day of. But because the manifests go through the FBI and whatnot, they need some time to process that. And thank you for the super chat again. Do you ever do a group cruise out of Galveston? We'd really like to meet you in person to say hi and thanks for all you do. So we've never done one out of Galveston, but I was kind of thinking maybe in 2026. Don't forget, in 2026, the new Cozumel Beach Club will open by Royal Caribbean. I don't know when in 26. That's the problem. But I would love to do a group cruise out of Galveston. Brand new terminal. You got Oasis class ships there now. Maybe would be the answer, Anne. I would love to. I've not been in Galveston since 2022. Hello. Say good night. Good night.
Hi.
Love you.
Love you.
How are we doing on time? We got 5 more minutes. All right. Sherry says, I am also Team St. John. I got married in St. Thomas, and I still stand by that. I mean, it's just amazing. Different level right there. Tony, I like that. Is there a way to book internet day pass? Yes. Once you get on board the ship, you can purchase a 24-hour pass. It's about $30 for the 24-hour pass. Clearly, Matt and I need to schedule a cocktail to talk about 2026. I mean, I'm down for the cocktail, but yeah. With group cruises, it sounds like an easier job than it is. It's just, you just never know what to pick. Ainsley, good to see you. Thank you for the super chat. 139 days till Celebrity Ascent. Trying to find past cruise planner. Need help. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know. You could, I mean, obviously at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, we keep an archive of Royal Caribbean cruise compasses, but people have suggested and occasionally sent in celebrity ones, but I just haven't made the jump to truly support that. So, like, other than a Facebook group, Ainsley, I mean, truly, the thing is, don't forget one thing to think about, Ainsley. This will not help you at 139 days out. But when you get within about 6 weeks of your cruise, or not 6 weeks, probably closer to a couple weeks before your cruise, the Celebrity app will update with events, and then you can start planning based on that. Not ideal because you're doing what I always recommend, which is planning well in advance. But yeah, there you go. I think that is it. We've run out. It's already our hour here. My kids are going to bed, so yeah, we're gonna wrap things up here, you guys. Thank you so much for everybody for hanging out. We had some amazing support today. I want to say thank you to all of our super chatters. Ainsley, thank you. Ann Whipple, thank you. Rose, thank you. Chad Crabtree, thank you. Freeman, thank you. Jason B, thank you. Freeman again, thank you. Castelli, thank you. Castelli again, so Castelli times 2, thank you. Ray and Nancy, thank you. Carolyn, thank you. Susanna, thank you. Kevin Tuvey, thank you. Hannah, thank you. Ja Rule, thank you. Skyfrog, thank you. Ed S, thank you. Gustavo, thank you. Scott Lockwood, thank you. This Tall to Ride, thank you. Julian, thank you for becoming a club member. Rose, thank you. Halcyo, thank you. Jonathan, thank you. Ann Whipple, thank you again. Joe Addison, thank you. Dawn Sturch, thank you. Jose, thank you. Mark Olwick, thank you. Jason B, thank you. Jay Osteen, thank you. Big Boy Trains, thank you. Scott Lockwood, thank you again. I think we already got you, Scott. Thank you. Chris Moss, thank you. Wisconsin Jason, thank you. Freeman, thank you again. Tukes, thank you. Rose, again, thank you. Cowboy Valley, thank you. Christelle, thank you. Edvira, thank you for re-upping as a club member. Jill 1228, thank you. Bob Dickens, thank you. Jacinta, thank you. And Andrew of the Seas, thank you all so much. You guys are amazing. Appreciate each and every one of your support here. Thank you for being part of the chat, helping out, asking your questions, being here. And we'll be back again next Monday right here on YouTube. Until then, have a lovely week, everybody. Stay safe out there. Do something fun, like book your next Royal Caribbean cruise. And we'll talk again very soon right here on YouTube. Bye, everybody.